And we're back.
Oh my god, we're back. Things are different now.
We're gaming crazy
World's
like.
changed. Gaming crazy. I mean, sort of, a little bit.
Yeah. It's like the game of life.
The game of life, the game of, the game of creating life. Never mind.
I hate to say it, but on the topic of creating life,
Yeah.
Silksong just got delisted everywhere.
It's back already. It literally
Is it?
back already.
That's
It's just regular like website maintenance because there's nothing. There's no update.
There's
so
literally nothing.
The shit's just like, yeah. Silksong.
Do you think we're ever getting it?
I think Silksong is having some major issues with scope because Hollow Knight already has issues with scope, in my opinion.
When you say issues, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like
there's too much.
They have a lot of ideas and they don't know what the fuck to. They're not. It's feature creep. They're not cutting anything down. That's my thought.
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I've not played all of it.
I don't think that's really Hollow Knight's issue.
I
Everything
think
that Hollow Knight adds isn't mechanically new.
So what I'm saying is, I don't think that's Hollow Knight's problem.
Yeah, I will say I do think Hollow Knight is too big of a game.
Yeah.
To be comfortable for like what it is.
Right.
It feels bigger than it needs to be.
I think their intent is probably to top it. So this is Memory Leak, by the way. This is some guy. I'm some other guy.
Yeah, I'm Benjamin, father to Benjamin.
Yeah, and I'm Geron.
Son.
I'm not son. I'm Geron. FBV.
What is
Geron, first black visitor. But I think they're trying to top the first game and the expectations people have of it,
which are impossible.
Then every time,
which is why we still don't have a Half-Life 3.
Like a day,
never will.
Every day that goes by without hearing about the game, the expectations go up by like a percent of a percent. And it's been so long. Hollow Knight came out in 2017, right?
Yep.
So we're approaching 8 years of that game being out. We're approaching, I don't know how many years of them talking about a sequel to it.
They're so fucked. Dude.
Yeah, it's like whatever comes out is not going to be good enough, unfortunately. The game is probably going to be great, genuinely. People are going to like it, but I don't think it's going to...
Even just more Hollow Knight with like a different character, different
character moves, exactly.
Like that's really
slightly
enough.
Different color palette in some cases, I guess. I think people are going to grab the thing and they're going to like it, but a lot of people are going to say, oh, we waited for this. And
so many people. That's going to be the internet opinion. For sure.
I'm not excited for that. I think people, I think they shouldn't have even mentioned they were working on this shit.
Yeah.
Until they had something to show.
Which I think most people are learning, but I think people started learning that like right after they did it. You see a bunch of indies that do that shit, like Maddie, the developer that played Celeste, had to cancel her game.
That game got canceled. What was the game called? Earthspire or some shit?
Earthbound,
Earthshade, some shit like that.
Yeah, Earthsword. I don't know.
Earthsword. It was Earthsword. I think specifically.
Earthblade.
Okay, Earthblade.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Earthblade got canceled almost probably because of the same exact reason.
Well, their thing, it seemed like a difference in creative opinion. Yeah, because it was like 3 people and one of them was going off and doing their own thing. So they're like, let's just reset. Because what was interesting in that blog post, which I really appreciated them giving that transparency, was something you don't really see very often.
Yeah, something that nobody...
Like talking through the politics, because it was really all politics that kind of led to it. But one of the things that I think was important to note is she was like, this game would have been really good even if we just kept marching forward and did it. But it's just like, it would have like kind of burnt them out. They didn't really want it to turn out the way that it was. It just like wasn't their vision, which I respect. It's an expensive decision and it's definitely not an easy one to make, but it's cool to see that stuff talked about because we never really get to understand like moratoriums of projects.
Like most of the time, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it here, but a lot of it seems like a lot of games come out, but really there's so many games you don't know about that don't come out.
Right.
And this is one of those games that you get to see not come out.
Yeah.
And they got to talk about a little bit of why it didn't come out, even if it was just just text, just a post.
And it's annoying because the games that don't come out, there's always people being like, this would have been so good. This would have been the best game ever. It's like, dog, you're doing this based off of like a title.
Right.
Like it's nothing else.
It's one of those things where what you imagine is obviously going to seem... Because now you don't have anything to compare it against.
Right.
And you can say, oh, this would have been the most amazing thing ever, but clearly something was up.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it didn't come out. It has, like, even if it's a company politics thing, even if it's between
something unrelated to the game itself.
Unrelated to the game itself, those things still would have affected the game that came out. And that would have, I'm looking at the dog now. Yeah, she's not
so
she's
sad.
not listening, yeah.
It's so sad, man.
Stupid.
Animals are stupid. And it's sad.
At least she's silent. But yeah, no. So what's it called? It's pretty fucked that these games are kind of hitting this. And I'm kind of afraid, like, AAA games are hitting that kind of situation. I'm a little worried that a lot of these indie games might start getting to the point where the developers start seeing what other indie developers are doing and try to match their success without understanding why they got that success. So they try to just kind of throw everything at it, and they don't have the resources to, and that could even mean like mental resources. They just burn out before they can put what they want out. Thus,
it's not a video game, but it reminds you of the anime movie Redline,
Mm.
where like there's so many frames of hand animated visual art that they just like the company instantly went bankrupt.
Yeah, because that's so fucking
it's
expensive.
so unsustainable.
It doesn't matter how much money you eventually make off of it, because you blew all that money and energy.
That being said, the world will
back.
always have Redline now.
Yeah,
so
the project exists.
the price of success, I guess.
Yeah. And that's one of those things where success just isn't a guarantee of anything. Like, it doesn't mean if you have a successful project, does not, especially in the game industry, and it doesn't mean you get to keep your job.
Shit. Just because you fulfilled your vision or whatever,
right?
Doesn't mean it's going to be good or impactful or have weight
and,
or anything.
And
like
even
that.
if it does do any of those things, it doesn't guarantee that you get to stay in the industry.
Right.
Like that doesn't mean you get to
Marvel
get comfortable.
Rivals.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
There we go. Good shit. Good segue.
Fucking Marvel Rivals, the Seattle-based developers that worked on the game, like it was a director and that person's team got let go. Got laid off.
Shit canned after one of the biggest launches in one of the most stagnant genres.
Yeah, one of the most stagnant and difficult to get any traction in genres.
Crazy.
And I think
crazy story.
From what I understand, at least what am I talking about? I'm saying this like it doesn't matter that these people lost their fucking jobs. My understanding is it was actually a team. It was a contracted team of about 6 people.
I imagine most teams are like contracted at this point.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a giant office that was cut off.
It wasn't like hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah, it was genuinely a team, and I could see trying to cut costs for some reason, especially with fucking Blue Nutsack, who should be on a pike doing what he's doing when it comes to international tariffs and shit. Like,
who the fuck?
Blue Nutsack is not Blue Nutsack. Orange Nutsack. I don't know. I said blue.
I thought you were talking about Blue Point for a second. I was like, oh, because the God of War shit.
No, but Blue Point does have some goings on. They were on a contract with NetEase to make this game, and I'm sure they were paid well enough. But today we got the gameplay for the next 2 heroes, I guess you can call them, being added to the game, which are what's his name? Johnny Blaze and The Thing. And what a fucking shame to see this project just move on without you. That I don't know what they contributed necessarily, but I also don't think this game I think this game is successful enough that they could have stayed on and had something more to do with the project. Hopefully they do find another project to work on so they can.
And I'm sure they will, because again, like what they were able to achieve with the genre they were able to achieve it in is like that's gonna get them credence and clout and with pretty much any company they want to work with.
They should be that should be such a big resume bumper.
I mean, the director was like a big like COD director. I forget which COD
he's worked on other
like,
shit like that.
He's not
like
he'll be
new.
fine.
Yeah,
and I think he was actually just using the platform to help the rest of his team.
Right.
he knows he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he knows he'll be able to get something. He's done this before, I'm sure.
Yeah, my guess is the political situation,
Mm-hmm.
financials have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I think it's also just the reality of live service games.
Yeah.
Like they just are expensive.
Yeah.
Like they're expensive to maintain.
They're expensive to maintain.
To
they're
survive.
expensive. And
they were probably always going to offload talent to just like the cheaper Chinese resources. That's just the reality.
And like when you're working with an IP like this, it kind of makes its own. It's. I mean, of course, you got to work with Disney, but like half of it is just making sure the fucking shit looks right.
Yeah.
You know, and crazy enough, I consider this game successful because it got me to play it.
Yeah.
Like, I play it. I genuinely play it. I don't just I play it. It's not like once in a while. I play it a few times a week.
Oh shit.
In fact, when
it does seem very like even just like stripping away the IP, like mechanically unique.
It's there's characters that fly
there's
perpetually.
A lot going on.
Spider-Man is in it.
Yeah,
like
he's got actual web
Spider-Man
swinging.
and Venom both swing. Spider-Man has web zip too.
Yeah, like the ability to be faithful with how crazy some of these characters are.
Right,
is
exactly.
impressive on its own.
And the ability to do that while being mechanically simple enough that anybody can just kind of pick a character and do something.
Right.
Even if they're not winning games, they're still feeling like they're contributing in a way. Like even if that just means putting a shield up. Yep. Like you put a shield up, okay, but that means you're absorbing damage. Or speaking of Spider-Man takes a lot of work, but you immediately feel like you're moving all over the place. So if anything, even if you're not getting KOs, you're a distraction. You know what I mean? So I think the game is well made. I think the game is it's great that it's free to play. I think the game is going to maintain a player base for a long time. I also think that hopefully, I mentioned this when we were in the group chat. I hope they don't like mechanically stagnate.
Right. Which seems possibly inevitable.
It seems my thought is
I mean, how many looters shooters.
It's a hero shooter.
How many hero shooters have that many characters even?
I feel like I don't know.
They've already achieved something that others haven't.
Yeah.
By having as many characters as they do that are mechanically unique.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else can they even like do
that isn't just like
and,
mixing and matching what already exists in the game? And that's what I'm thinking. A lot of these characters gonna like looking at the Johnny Blaze trailer and everything. I'm like, I'm already saying stuff like, he kind of looks like
a blend of A and B.
Yeah, he looks like Storm mixed with I don't fucking know.
Right.
Another character. And which is cool because people who play one type of character will easily be able to jump to this other character and do similar things and make it work. But at the same time, it's like when you have Smash Ultimate has a little bit of this thing where the more characters you add, the more homogenized they all feel.
That's
like the easier it feels to play all of them.
Right.
Because you have 89 characters and you need to figure out how to make
them
all
a base like language.
Exactly. There's a base design that and then you put the pieces on the design. Even if you have crazy shit like menus that you can pull up, it's still just you're just selecting special moves.
Yeah, he has the same certain things. Yeah. And there's like the amount of things that can be unique goes down with each new edition.
Exactly. And what's it called? I will say, I was going to say something, I lost it. Like I've been playing Virtua Fighter 5 Revo that came out on Steam at the end of last month. And that game only has 19 characters.
Right.
But 19 characters is a 3-button game. It's actually more like a 2-button game because one of those buttons is block.
Right.
And with Virtua Fighter, you have a lot of very strict rules for like universal mechanics. And then all those characters kind of interact with those rules in certain ways. And a lot of people will describe the game as rock, paper, scissors. And it's very clear rock, paper, scissors. It's not like like if you try to grab somebody and they attack, even if they attack after your grab lands, they're going to win.
I see.
Because grabs cannot beat attacks. They're not allowed to beat attacks.
I see.
And, but I think the way that game is designed with the smaller amount of characters, but the larger move sets kind of lets that game, be more about what the players are doing with each other rather than what the characters are doing. Because the characters are all like, they have stories, but the characters are all basically they're flattened out.
Yeah.
Their personalities are weird. Like weird in a way that's like, I don't mean weird like, oh, that's cool weird. I mean weird like, people aren't like this. Kind of weird.
Like uncanny.
Yeah. They're all strange. It's like they all have some kind of mental issue. But I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like they all have no social skills. Is what they feel like. But
they feel like they were made by losers.
Yeah. But even then, it's like the mechanical variety and the way the games play out, they're very easy to follow once you understand how the game works.
Yeah.
And but it also doesn't feel like you can pick any character and play them the same way because every character deals with the rules of the game in different ways.
I need to bring it back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You should play Virtua Fighter's good. I'm talking to all of you. You should play it. It's easy to play. It's easy to get into. Once you understand it, you'll feel like you're getting somewhere. You don't feel like you're just kind of pressing buttons and getting torn up by combos that last for minutes, you know? Like Virtua Fighter has combos, but at least when you get hit by a combo, the fucking round ends. You're just like, okay, well, I lose this one. That's fine.
Should I play Virtua Fighter?
You should give it a try. Yeah, it's only $20. Well, it's $20 now. It used to be $15 for the launch window.
Can't do it.
Why?
Because I got to pay for my child now.
Yeah, that's true. Damn. Well, let me borrow Pierce.
That's my
excuse. Edit that out. Edit that word out. I don't want to use that. I don't want to put that in the air. No.
But
I want to edit it out. I want to protect little guy.
Other things that happened. We had a state of play.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, we had a state of play.
You're oohing.
Ooh.
Instead of viewership record. Did you see that?
Sure.
So
instead of viewership,
they did what they needed to do.
Instead of viewership record, people are hungry for shit from Sony, and they literally got fed shit.
Yeah,
it was shit. It was bad. That was bad. Like not bad in the way where they showed shit that was bad. I don't think what they showed was bad. I think what they showed was boring.
Yeah, and
boring is probably worse than bad.
I would agree. Case. I think they've lost the sauce.
Yeah,
because going back to your whole thing, it's actually kind of ironic. You were talking about fighting games feeling homogenized the more there is.
Yeah.
That's actually how this felt.
Yeah.
It felt like they were all the same game.
It felt like they were all just different. They could have been different scenes in the same game.
Yeah.
Like different modes of play in the same game. Like I can't really even name half of the fucking games, and the stuff that I did like was stuff that I already knew about. Outside of Shinobi. Shinobi looks really good.
Yeah.
But you know, Shinobi is a 2D game that's not a PS5 exclusive by any means. It's definitely coming out on Switch 1. It's definitely coming out on PC.
I mean, let's be real. Most of the stuff that they announced is going to be coming to Steam as well.
Right. Most of the stuff is coming to Steam, but like none of it. When I'm thinking, like the Lies of P DLC is still coming out on PS4. Coming to one of these things and seeing PS4, even if the games are on PS4, just seeing the PS4 logo is
it's been 5 years.
It's so fucked.
It's been 5 years. Yeah. That'd be like seeing a 3DS game in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, but at the same time,
it'd be weird.
At the same time, it's like I'm not here to buy new 3DS games. Like, show me why I bought your latest console and the like,
or the upgraded version,
or the $700 fucking PS5 Pro. There's nothing. I've said this before, and I don't want people to be like, you only like games from this one company. That's not the case. I think a lot of good third-party games are coming out to every platform, but I think these platforms are so fucking nothing now.
Yeah, that
it's just like, why do I care what Sony is presenting when I could care more about what the third parties are presenting from their swath of like Capcom had their little presentation. That was cool.
Capcom's killing it,
coming
man.
out. Yeah, those shits are coming out on everything.
We've definitely been in a mode where the third parties are king.
Yeah,
and kind of determine what happens next. Yeah. Capcom, Sega had an insane year last year. Yeah. With all of RGG's shit,
stuff,
all of Atlus's
fucking
shit.
Atlas, like Persona. There's the Persona 3 remake.
Yeah,
and Metaphor, all in the same fucking year.
Yeah. The third parties are cooking with gas.
Yeah, that's really good news to me.
It's great.
I think that these machines are.
It means people are less reliant on the machine they purchase.
Exactly. Like all the platforms are capable enough, and with Switch 2 coming out, it's basically over. They're all the same shit. essentially. Of course, it's going to be lower power than the other two consoles, but it's still going to be good enough. And good enough is clearly good enough for people because the original Switch is still selling fine.
Right.
I think it's great that third-party developers or third-party publishers are getting their way. It's crazy that Microsoft is doing. I think they're doing the right thing. Like Xbox,
they're doing it in the wrong way.
They're doing it in the weirdest way. Yeah,
they're doing it in the way that had Sega exit the console market.
Yeah, like Xbox as a console platform, the Xbox Series is a fine machine, but it
does feel like it's dead.
Yeah, there's no reason to. If you're looking to buy a new console, there makes no sense to get stuck with Xbox when it makes more sense to buy a PS5
or a PC.
But like, if you let's say you're just trying to get a console that's the same price, like they're both the same price.
So the price, I think, is the only thing that they could feasibly do in the next generation is like have the cheapest console as box that plays games,
appliance that plays games. That's kind of what Switch had become for a lot of people.
Right.
Because it's just the thing you take to
and
bed
having
and
one with
games.
a slight nuanced focus on being more of a home theater machine might make it have its own sort of niche.
Yeah, I think making sure the features are there for enjoyable and comfortable presentation and access to games is important. If you could just say that it's that easy and it's that fast, you don't even really need to emphasize like, oh, the best graphics we've had ever or some shit like that. Or like
we've
4K,
hit the plateau.
8K.
I don't think people fucking care anymore.
The people that do care are the people that are spending
on
like
PC
$5,000.
Yeah, the people that have PC.
Yeah, like $2,000 on a graphics card.
It's not the same market anymore.
Yeah, and having I bought some new parts to update my PC. Now it's, my shit isn't from 2015. My shit is
using to just play on 64 games.
Yeah, I know, it's funny as shit. Like those PC ports of like Majora's Mask and stuff like that, you can kick them all up to
the recompiles.
Like playing fucking Star Fox at 120 frames, it's fucked up. I really wish I didn't do that, but it's fucked up.
Like good fucked
up.
Like
it's like it's pretty feels pretty good to play it that way. It looks weird because the ground moves at 30 FPS because it has an effect to make it look like you're moving, but you're probably just in place and the world is moving around you. But having put this PC together and the CPU is great, the GPU is still at 3060, but that's still good enough.
It's more than good enough.
Like it's plenty good enough, and I'm running at 1080p. I'm running at high frame rates.
That's probably better than the PS5 Pro.
I don't think it's better than the PS5 Pro, but it's probably better than the PS5, especially with the CPU being
PS5.
The CPU just blows the PS5 and the Xbox away. So I went with an AMD CPU too. So
I also have an AMD CPU.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that I understand where people are coming from when they're like they want everything on PC once they felt the benefits of it.
Yeah. And they've invested into it. And I've thought about this, like building a PC and playing games on it is like cooking a meal at home, whereas playing the games on a console is like eating at a restaurant. In this case, it'd be more like getting like DoorDash, but having somebody prepare the food for you. And both experiences are completely valid. And I think you should, if you can afford it, I think you should have both in some way. I have come to the thought that having a nice PC is affordable by anybody.
Having a good enough PC for real.
A good enough PC for specifically.
Real. Yeah, a PC
you can get at console prices.
Yeah, you can get even if you have to get it like a used GPU or something like that. Right. I think you can get a PC that will last you longer than whatever the current consoles are.
I'll say under 1,000, maybe a little bit more than consoles, but under 1,000, you should be able to blow the socks off any console.
If you can get a PS5 Pro, like if you can comfortably get a PS5 Pro, you can probably just spend the extra $300 and build that PC, and then
which I know is the opposite of what we said before.
But
I think it's getting to that point.
It's at a point where it's because all these games come out on PC anyway.
Yeah.
And if you learn to get comfortable with the way that platform works, you can create a situation where you can,
as long as the games are like optimized well enough.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of a caveat.
You'll be able to play games from years ago and some years forward, and then be able to swap out a part
That is probably one thing that this generation has gotten a lot better at is the ability to port games to PC.
Yeah, for real.
Like if you rewind to when the PS5 first came out and Sony first started putting stuff on PC, it was like always a shit show.
There's always something wrong
every
with
single time it launched. Now FF7 Rebirth comes out and you don't even
and it's fine.
Like there's no problems reported.
Yeah.
Like we're in a much better state.
There might be less options than a typical PC version of a game, but I mean, for most people, all you got to do is say, okay, what resolution, and then upscaling mode or some shit. And that's
which again,
enough.
your computer will probably just handle for you.
Yeah,
it'll pick defaults.
Right. Which, considering that, which means I need to finish Remake.
Because, now you can.
Because I can blow that shit away, and I can get Rebirth now.
Yeah, you can just blast through.
Yeah, I tried the demo of Final Fantasy 16, and I was like, oh fuck.
There you go.
Ooh,
runs pretty
well. I'm here now.
Those games are really well optimized. The fact that Rebirth runs reasonably comfortably on the Steam Deck is pretty fucking impressive.
It's like if you blow it up, like I've seen videos of it, it's ugly as shit if you blow it up, but on the screen size,
right,
you can handle it.
On a 720 screen, it's perfectly playable. I'll say that.
Right. If you can accept handheld games are always going to be like that.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like that.
Yeah. It's not meant to be played on a handheld.
Yeah. So if
the fact that you can do it at all is like just be thankful.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I think my end thought with that is I understand people want to be able to home cook all of their meals. And I understand there's people that would rather just have somebody else cook the food for them. And a lot of people's situation is like, they'll build a PC for every other game. And then they'll build a PC for every other game and have the Nintendo console for the games that they make. Because the way they make their games is like, they're specifically made for the machine they're on. And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think the people asking for PC versions of them, I think I get it now, because when you've seen a game run at, fucking crazy frame rates and shit like that, you kind of want everything to run that way.
Right.
And, obviously it'd be great if Nintendo ran stuff like let you run games like that. But at the same time, you just kind of have to understand it's a different experience. That different experience is also the simpler experience that a lot of people are willing to accept if it means they get to play games for $300 rather than for $3,000 or $1,000.
Exactly.
So
that is one thing that's kind of ironic about that analogy is it's like eating at home is generally cheaper.
Yeah, but see, the opposite of that is the games that you buy on PC are going to be cheaper, like almost every time.
That's true.
Like when you buy a game on PC, you can just get games in sales. They'll be dollars.
Yeah, I guess you're factoring having a kitchen into the equation, which is inherently expensive.
Yeah. So I get it. Not that I didn't get it before, but I really get it now.
Mm-hmm. So going back to State of Play real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Were there any things in there that you mentioned Shinobi?
The Shinobi, the 2D Shinobi game. I forget exactly what it's called.
Art of Vengeance?
Art of Vengeance, yeah. That looks really fucking nice. I like I like this new this thing that a lot of these games are doing. Even the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is doing it too, where you kind of have like combo based combat and in the 2D context, so it feels like you don't lose momentum while you're trying to. And Shinobi was all about keep maintaining your momentum. 2D Ninja Gaiden was about maintaining your momentum too.
Is it the same Shinobi as like the Genesis games?
Yep, exactly the same.
Oh shit,
it's that Shinobi, yeah. I think they kind of understand how those games could be fun now.
Yeah.
And
in a modern context.
Yeah, exactly. Hand-drawn graphics, all this kind of thing.
That's good.
And make them available on everything. I think those will be a lot of fun, and I think they'll be nice, like small, short experiences that don't ask for a month's worth of play unless you want to get good at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see in Metal Gear Solid Delta there too, which
I was curious how you felt about that.
This game looks like a fan remake, but I don't mind.
You're gonna play it?
I'm going to play it. I don't mind that it looks that way because I think they
acknowledge that that's basically
what exactly. Yeah. Like they've kind of acknowledged that it's not Metal Gear Solid 3, it's Metal Gear Solid 3 made reimagined in a different way. And there's a reason why they're not calling it 3, they're calling it Delta.
Right.
Because it's different.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to play it. I'm willing to get it. I'm willing to also treat it different than Metal Gear Solid 3, which they've made available on modern platforms anyway. So it's not like that.
I think that was
there.
also intentional. Like, we really want to get this out before Delta. To make sure that people understand we're not trying to replace it.
Right. So, like Metal Gear Solid 3 is still available on your platform of choice.
It still comes first.
Yeah. Delta also is available, and Delta is Delta. Delta is it's like a paying respect to Metal Gear Solid 3.
We're just having fun here, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Onimusha, I know you've been playing those games again.
That Onimusha, getting Onimusha 2 in HD on everything, that fucking rules. Because Onimusha 2 has better gameplay
than the first one.
The first one, yeah. The first one's great.
I've never played them. Ken described them as Resident Evil but melee.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. Okay. Yeah. Number 2 is more. It just everything feels better.
Yeah.
Number 1,
more fluid.
Number 1 has that like weirdness, or like where you kind of have to learn to get used to. Devil May Cry 1 has that too. So once you learn to get used to the weird way it feels, it's really cool. But
so is it still worth playing 1?
Yeah, it's not long. It's not a long game at all. But having 2, which means hopefully they'll have 3. John Renault is already on board for his likeness to be reused.
There you go.
Number 4 could come out, and then
I do like that they licensed Mifune's likeness.
Yeah, they have
very
to.
Funny.
That's how the series has been. That's just what it is. So having that tradition still coming through with it is great. And the gameplay looks nice and like grounded.
Right.
It doesn't look like Souls combat, which I'm happy about because
it feels like Ninja Gaiden, Onimusha, Shinobi, like we're kind of moving away from that pendulum. Yeah. Swinging from the Souls-like direction back towards like combo-based action.
Different kinds of action games where your movement and motion is important. It's not about enduring it. It's about
mastering
mastering it. Like you can still beat it with really jank shit, but the game will tell you could have done that better rather than just surviving.
And I've said it before a million times. That's
Sekiro.
Why you should play Sekiro.
Yeah, I understand.
Sekiro was their game doing that, and it's crazy that's the only game they made like that.
Yeah, and that game gets lumped in with the other Souls games, which makes it difficult to talk about because I tried I was about to say Demon Souls. I tried Dark Souls 3 the other day just to be
let me
see how
Dark Souls 3. I don't like it.
Yeah, I
actively dislike
it. I've made peace with the fact that I don't really like the way Souls games play.
Yeah.
Specifically Souls
games. The way
I'm
somebody
saying.
described it to me, both that and Elden Ring, which really made me understand what I don't like about it, is the fact that they are action games that are built like RPGs.
Yeah,
in the sense that like the progression, the pacing of the adventure is like you're going from one room to the next area, and you have to sort of like be prepared in the right way, like grind in the right way, have a build, and have the preparation, and then you'll just beat the boss because you have the preparation.
You're good because your character is good enough.
Your character is good enough, exactly. You don't have like the skill set needed. You haven't mastered. There is a way to do that. It's just the game isn't designed that way, which is always what I didn't realize I didn't like about it until that was described that way. Because like feeling that friction and approaching it like an action game where you feel like you're intended to master the gameplay mechanics, gets really frustrating.
Right. I completely understand that. Like, oh man, when I try to play the games, of course, you get killed a bunch. You get killed a bunch of times, but I understand very quickly that it's like there's no way I was going to know this fucking move was going to come out unless I looked it up before. And action games have that too, but those action games also have a lot of very specific rules.
Yeah, where like telegraphs.
You can at least be like, oh, this is the kind of move that it's using, so I should do this thing. Whereas this, it's like,
Sekiro has exactly that same rule set.
Okay. And Sekiro also has the situation where you're playing a designed character
a single designed character that you get very little variation
on. You can build up skills, but those skills are like those skills predictable. The game is designed around you.
Yeah, I mean the skills are. There are certain skills that are definitely like table stakes, but they're also like the initial skills on the skill tree.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of expect you to have those, but there's like secondary weapons that almost just add like flavor.
Yeah.
Like once you have mastered the game, you can start to lump those in to be like a little bit more efficient, a little bit more stylish, like feel more like the character.
Yeah.
But it's like the game is not designed around those. They're there for like kind of having fun.
Right. For like extra expression after the fact. Because they want you to mechanically
master the parry, master the sword, master the base shit.
Because like when I was playing the bit I played of Dark Souls 3, I was like, God damn, I'm really just watching. Yeah. I'm watching the enemy do things. And then using my invincible roll, and then hitting it.
Yeah, that shit feels the same, so like, shitty. I hate
like
roll
sloppy
spam,
movement.
Dude.
Yeah,
I hate roll spam. Sekiro, you get fucking punished for rolling.
Oh, okay, good.
It like actively like you deters you from,
hit from one.
They're like, no, you got to learn the parry.
Yes,
if you roll, we're gonna fuck you up instantly.
Fucking that's good. Because one day I'll give it a fucking try. I need to. It never goes on sale for like less than 30. It feels like so.
Worth it.
We'll figure it out because
maybe I'll gift you that one too.
Because my brain is like, let me get it at 20 or less because it's been out for a while.
It has been out for a while.
But
like 6 years.
Yeah,
2019. I want to say
2019. Yeah, because I remember it won Game of the Year at the TGAs, which is cool. But So my thing as someone who plays action games, I want the game to respect my mechanical.
Like
my mechanical knowledge of the game rather than force me to watch this enemy do these attacks and just roll and watch my meter, not let me do this or that. I'm like, God damn, just chill. Like, it's, I don't think the games are, this is going to sound like gatekeep here, whatever. I don't think the games are hard. I think it's really just a test of patience.
Right.
I think it's more...
that's, again, it goes back to the RPG mindset.
Yeah.
If you approach like an RPG and all the skills required to make it through an RPG, it's kind of the same shit, just without menus.
Right. And once you understand how the builds work, that's how you get people doing it. Like, oh, I'm just naked only fists or some shit. I'm like, or playing it on a dance pad. I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
I think those games are like hard in a way for what word can I use? I don't want to fucking say normie. That's not what I fucking mean. But that's what people tend to say. But it's hard for someone who doesn't play games that are hard.
I know what you mean.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard in a way that they understand that they're getting beat up, but I don't think they're also understanding that they're just kind of banging their head against the wall until the wall cracks, kind of thing.
Right.
Which honestly is a skill, but
patience is a skill.
Yeah, it's also like not the same kind of skill that you can hold when it comes to a game like that. You can't hold that over someone like, oh, I beat a Dark Souls game. That's you like great. You enjoyed it.
When people don't like having to work on timing, and they think that they're just quote not good at timing based games or whatever, like or not good at rhythm games.
Not good at rhythm games or remembering.
I know Jeff always says that Sekiro is a rhythm game, so it's like that kind of mentality where it's like when that specific skill is tested, the quote normies back away, right? And they go to Dark Souls.
Right, yeah, because at least Souls you can make number bigger.
Yeah, you make number bigger
get
and
souls,
then blast
get the souls and like kind of farm the souls. I don't know if Bloodborne's the same way. I'm assuming it is.
About Bloodborne. I've heard Bloodborne is like the hardest of the Dark Souls games,
but I've also heard that it's more aggressive.
Yeah,
so you have a gun too, often. So like the whole time. I mean, but yeah. So let's talk about. Let's move on to.
So anything else in State of Play that you thought was interesting?
That game. It's another Chinese action game like Stellar Blade. But I can't remember what it's called. But that looked cool. Speaking of action games, that looked cool. I want to see how it turns out.
Is it Tides of Annihilation?
That might be it.
Yeah, this is definitely it.
Yeah. Like the name's corny as hell.
Very fucking corny.
But the game looked fun. It looked like it had this sort of gameplay variety that like Nier Automata or even Metal Gear Rising kind of had.
Yeah.
Specifically. So that looks good. So
I was kind of impressed with the Borderlands presentation.
Like that game looks fun.
That was ironically of all the games that looked boring, that was one of the games that looked more fun than they had let on.
That it was going to be, especially after seeing that fucking movie.
Oof.
But and Randy Pitchford does not need to be.
No, he
needs to be put in a box.
Yeah.
He needs to be put in a box,
in the
put in a
gearbox.
case. Oh, God, yeah, put in a gearbox and let the gears grind away. But regardless,
let the gears grind away. like at his body.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Gears of War. Borderlands 4 looks like a fun game, genuinely. So hopefully they do the right thing and it has crossplay.
Make or break.
Yeah, it's not going to be on Steam, so
the one sort of like
or it might be
Sony game that was new, that looked interesting to me is that House Mark game.
Oh yeah, okay. There is.
I liked Returnal a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if I liked it a lot because it was like the only thing on PS5.
5 at the time, yeah.
But I did like it a lot for that period. Their new game looks cool. Looks like they're basically just taking all the things that they learned from Returnal and making just a new game with it.
My
which is fine.
analysis of it when I saw it was like, oh, so this is Returnal with man. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of older lady, it's an older man. Okay.
Like, I don't think Returnal was perfect. There are a couple nitpicks that I had about both the gameplay and the design.
Yeah.
I don't love roguelikes in general, but this is still probably going to have some roguelike elements to it.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it looks fun. I'll definitely kind of wait for reviews, see how it is. I'm sure it'll go on, PS Plus or whatever at some point. But yeah, I'm glad to see they're getting work because I like that studio and I like what they make.
Yeah, genuinely that was cool. But the problem with that trailer is they fucking show any of the goddamn game.
Yeah.
No game. All it was the bullet hell pattern. And it's like, oh, okay, they're showing us what the game is, what to expect.
Right.
But just fucking
it's probably not far enough along yet.
That's the other thing. There's so many things that say 2026.
Yeah.
Like fuck
off. Fucking February.
Yeah, and they're already talking about these games ain't coming out. They're not coming out this year.
No window in 2026 either. It could be 2 years.
It could be fucking
December
end of 2026. Like, but by all means, we're still talking like 2024 announcements right now. So, yeah.
And I think that's also why the State of Play was just pissed. Is like they were probably told they had to put one together.
Right.
And they're like,
everything's
in development right now. Like deep development.
Right. We have nothing to really show you. We took time out to make this trailer, but I mean, who knows what's going to be different in however much time, Yeah. Just, I don't know, dude. Hopefully the next presentations from everybody are better. I think
the next one is Switch 2.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Pokemon.
There is a
Pokemon Day.
one.
We'll have definitely a presentation.
We'll probably finally see ZA. Especially because it's supposed to be
it's wild that they truly didn't say anything for a year.
Yeah.
That's very unlike Pokemon.
Yeah.
They've been cranking shit out on this set schedule for so long until Scarlet Violet hit.
Right.
And seems like they actually put the fucking brakes on for a second.
Even Scarlet and Violet got the DLC. So it was after that, and then Pokemon, the card game.
I'm sure the DLC was already in the works, which is why.
Yeah.
But after the Scarlet Violet, criticisms, I guess.
Right.
Seems like they actually did take it to heart.
They probably understood that we need to
we haven't heard of any new Pokemon games in basically since DLC.
Yeah.
Which has been how long? 6 months?
The DLC for Pokemon?
Yeah.
The 2 DLCs I think were done. It's been more than 6 months. That's for sure.
Indigo Disc?
Yeah, Teal Disc or something. Indigo Disc, yeah. The Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc.
December 2023. Shit.
Yeah. So it's been about
2024.
A year.
Were there any? I don't think there were any new Pokemon games.
I mean, if you're not outside of talking about the phone game and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. Pocket.
Yeah, Pocket. Yeah, and Pocket's good.
Pocket's great.
I talked about that already. Pocket's good.
But
I don't have a meta deck for the new packs yet, which is pissing me off. But
it's just very. Oh, I don't either.
Yeah, it's just pissing me off so much. I got.
They changed the rates, I think.
Yeah, they definitely
it was too
did.
easy to get.
Because I got 3 EX Celebies so fucking fast. And I was like, this. I'm fucking.
Even the solo event for the Cresselia EX.
Yeah.
It literally, I went through 30 packs before I got one.
Got the actual fucking Cresselia.
And I was like, why did this fucking take so long? And I searched and other people were having that same issue.
And that event is it feels like it's a little harder than the ones before too. Yeah.
I just still use the Mewtwo deck.
Fucking, that's fine too. I'm talking about it now. I'm trying to make another
off meta deck.
Yeah, because I like my Machamp. I like my Machamp deck. I'm trying to make another fighting deck with what's his name. the fuck's his name?
Infernape?
No, it evolves from Kirlia.
Oh, Gallade?
Gallade, yeah. So it kind of works, but it's still, I'm still gonna get my ass beat.
Good game though.
Yeah,
it's well balanced, reasonably speaking. There's some broken shit, but there's always gonna be broken shit.
And you don't really have to pay money to get.
You don't
feel like you're getting anywhere.
You don't at all. Yeah.
So you definitely pop the trial for the premium though.
But yeah, so I genuinely think this is the first time in the Pokemon Company's history that it's been this slow.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is a good thing.
I can only suppose that it's a good thing.
For the quality of the games and the quality of the people working on them.
Yeah, I mean, we had those big leaks over the last year too, which you remember the leak when everyone found out about Typhlosion and shit?
What?
You don't know about that? Where people
yes.
Like that probably
the lore that didn't. Okay, yeah.
That shit probably affected how they go about development and talking about their games too.
That's probably true.
Like
clamp down on security.
Yeah, like apparently people have seen the Pokemon ZA gameplay, but they had for some reason they had the sense not to publish the videos that they pulled out from that. Probably because there was nothing to see.
I think ZA
white box shit
will hopefully be good.
I
hope they don't do the fucking Pokemon thing that they started doing after Gen 4, where they basically started simplifying.
Yeah,
oversimplifying.
Yeah,
I think Arceus was really good. I think Arceus could have done with a little bit like more depth.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But what they had was very, very promising. A lot of interesting stuff going on, shit that they hadn't done before. It felt real fresh.
Yeah. I think there's a benefit to them sticking with making ZA a Switch 1 game.
Yeah.
I think they've worked with the hardware for over half a decade now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Way over half a decade now. To make a game that's ultimately...
Sword and Shield was 20... What?
Sword and Shield was 2020. No, it was 19. That's 2019.
Yeah.
So I mean, fucking Let's Go was even earlier than that. So.
Yeah, that was their first one.
Yeah.
I was in my condo when I played Let's Go. Crazy. So that means it had to have been 2018 or.
The Switch has been around since you've been in that condo, since you got this house, and since the kid.
The Switch came out 1 year after I got married.
Oh right, yeah, you got married in 2016.
Less than a year.
It was less than a year. It was like it was the March after that,
which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they stretched the hardware, dog.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah. But.
So Pokemon Day, Switch 2, and then we'll fucking see what happens for E3.
Yeah. E3. For that season, there's no E3.
E3 season.
Whatever.
It's my shorthand.
Okay. And hopefully we get more presentations from the third-party developers peppered throughout.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to talk about right now. It's like things are looking all right. Now.
There's other topics, but they're probably due for whole episodes.
Right. This as a return to the routine.
Sure. Working out. What have you been playing recently?
Virtua Fighter and Marvel Rivals, basically.
Oh, really? That's it.
I'll get up, I'll play them, and then I'll just kind of chill out. I have a bunch of Switch games I'm gonna get back to. I think I'm just kind of enamored with the speed of the CPU.
Sure. Enjoy your things.
So
Enjoy your toys.
I'm just like, oh, this is good shit. I can do other things while I'm playing certain games now.
Yeah.
I can fuck around with DLSS and all this shit and be like comfortably get high frame rates and just like, let me just enjoy this while I'm still on the honeymoon of this. And then, I got another NVMe to put in there. So I got a fast ass drive.
Yeah.
I got a Samsung one. I could get a cheap
catch up on games.
Yeah. Catch up on some games that I had that was like, I had to fiddle with.
Waiting for a better experience.
I had like God of War that Russell had bought me. I was like, oh, I can actually play this now.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII. Not that I couldn't play it on the other machine.
Right, but the experience.
But now it's like I can get a much more comfortable
you can get
experience.
Like the definitive experience.
Yeah, exactly. I can get the experience that you would want out of a PC version of the game, and a bunch of other stuff that I can go back and finish.
Yeah.
So it's been cool.
Good.
Yeah.
I just finished Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's funny playing that right after Astrobot, because from a game design perspective, they're like the same game.
That's funny as shit.
Like the way the levels are designed, the way the power ups are designed, power ups are
doled out.
Just the overall structure and pacing of the game is like apples to apples.
That's fucking
really
interesting.
Really funny.
I have the game, so
it's good.
Maybe I'll get to it on Switch 2. Maybe I'll get to it on my Switch Lite.
I would say it's definitely in the top tier of Kirby games, and just the way Kirby games play.
I haven't bought a Kirby game in so long.
I hadn't bought a Kirby game since. Actually, I did get Star Allies. Before that, I only played Triple Deluxe.
Oh yeah.
I don't buy a ton of Kirby games.
Yeah,
I have not played every Kirby game.
I think the last one I purchased
I didn't play any of the
deliberately.
GBA ones.
Yeah.
I didn't play any of the DS ones,
Right.
regular DS.
I think the last one I deliberately purchased was fucking okay. I bought Rainbow Curse or not Rainbow Curse, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
the Wii U one,
the Epic Yarn, but the painting one. Oh,
the
the clay one was
the clay one. I bought that and I didn't play a lot of it, and I gave it. I
think Rainbow Curse.
I gave it to somebody. Yeah, maybe it was Rainbow Curse. But before that was fucking Canvas Curse on the DS, and that was like the last Kirby game I played, and that's not like a real Kirby game anyway. Because fucking Epic Yarn, as pretty as it looks, put me to sleep. It was like Goo Goo Gaga baby.
There was definitely a period of Kirby games that were like that. I think Star Allies was kind of like that for a while. They got some DLC that kind of upped the ante a little, which was appreciated. But most Kirby games, I would say, I put in the Goo Goo Gaga category.
It's not even about it being too easy, but it was like that game was basically a lullaby the entire way. The narrator was just like
soft and gentle.
Kirby ate some delicious food.
This is Geron ASMR. There's a difference between like an easy game and like a Goo Goo Gaga sleep game.
Exactly.
And you
can be easy and exciting.
Yeah.
And
Forgotten Land is easy and exciting. It's genuinely I died once or twice.
Right.
Just because I was like fucking around. But like you can blast through the game pretty easily, but you're never bored doing it.
And I got that from the demo.
Yeah.
Like trying the demo, I was like, oh, this is like cool. It has a little like
it's also
Bayonetta ass dodge shit and stuff.
Yeah. And they it's I almost can't remember what it was like playing through the game. It's like hard for me to even think about playing Kirby in 2D now, if that makes sense.
I understand that. Yeah.
It's like definitely shifted the identity of Kirby because this is like it's such a Kirby flavored experience. But also like so well tuned and designed and like gameplay and the vibe and it's a really well made package.
Yeah. So I'm get to it soon. Part of the reason why I bought it because I knew I could probably blow through it if I didn't try to get everything if I didn't want to.
No, yeah, and it's there's some things that are annoying to get because they don't tell you how to get them until after you've beaten the level.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like
I'm
just play through the game.
Yeah, I'm not going back for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Progressing.
Which was Jeff's fucking problem, saying that the game was like it dragged too much. Where I'm like, this game is like 5 hours long. How could you possibly be saying this game dragged too much?
You must have chosen to.
Yeah, that's what he did. He would 100% each level before he moved on. I'm just like, dog,
you don't have to do that.
Psychotic for this game.
That's fine at a certain age. I think at this point, I don't give a fuck.
Even if I wanted to do that, the way you do that, you play through the game once and then you go back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you do it.
So, but okay,
cool.
Yeah, like we're good.
Yeah, just about in an hour.
Yeah, we're in the new world. So
yeah, like One Piece.
Ben's been watching One Piece.
I have. I've finally been watching One Piece.
Yeah,
it's good.
But,
all right. So, higher fans?
I don't have one right now.
No, all right.
We'll get back to roasting people.
No fans
in the next
yet.
One. Yeah.
No fans yet.
Yeah, only fans.
Only fans. If you like this shit, give us a like, comment, subscribe. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube.
Yep.
Send us an email at memoryleakpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's our shit.
Down with Trump, down with Musk.
We're back. Right. I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
Let's go. 2025. You're the
project. All right.